failing never feels good. I'm used to being a lot more successful on my 30-day challenges. What's going on, guys? So I gotta talk to y'all. I've been rebranding over and over and over again, but today I want to talk to you guys about just how I feel. Like, normally I do like tip videos and stuff. I just want to talk to you guys about how I feel. I want to share my story with you guys, and it's up to you to kind of like pull from those stories that I share with you guys. I want to talk about how I failed my recent 30-day challenge and basically what I've learned from failing that challenge. As you guys know or have seen on my community post, I started a juice cleanse, I started a juice cleanse. And basically my goal was to fast and kind of abstain from food as much as I could and just, clean my body out, get the nutrients I need, and just overall feel better and just go on this real serious 30-day challenge of discipline, of just me taking better care of my body overall and in general. I felt like I had been snacking a lot. I felt like I had been eating late at night a lot, and I was just trying to try something new. So what you guys are gonna witness is me just showing you guys a little bit of the prepping process for anybody that's interested, because at the end of the day, it's something that I'm still definitely gonna try again, but it's more so something I wanted to do as a lifestyle. It was never just like a 30-day challenge thing. So I did vlog it so you guys could kind of get an idea of like the preparation and stuff like that. I have a basic low wattage juicer. I was doing it with the blender, and then I was getting like, I was getting like a strainer to kind of stir around the pulp, and that would drain the juice out, but it was very time consuming. It's not bad if you occasionally juice and if you overall blend, but I feel like if you're juicing, like you want to make yourself a bunch of containers, I feel like you should just go ahead and invest in the juicer. And so me being me, knowing I couldn't wait, I looked up a brand that I was familiar with and found one at my local Walmart store, and I got started with juicing like that. Now, what I can say about that juicing experience is that it is a lot of prep, like a lot of cutting, a lot of dicing, but if it's like a nice day and you're in one of those moods where you're cleaning and doing what you need to do, you're honestly not gonna mind, because I just put on a podcast and I was just cutting up my, fruits and vegetables and washing them and doing the whole nine. And I made what you guys are gonna see, which is a few jars. Now, into the process, before I even finished, I already knew, this was gonna be a little difficult because I'm splitting all this juice with my boyfriend. So it's not just me, it's both of us. So with the amount and the money I spent with getting the fruits and vegetables, I thought that I could make more. And what I also learned is that you can't make it all at once either, because some people say 72 hours, some people say you could do it for 4 days. But for me, I try to stay within the 72-hour window, because after that, it just was looking a little funky. So I, didn't like having to shake it around and blend it back together like in the mason jar. So what I try to do is I try to stick to consuming the juice within 72 hours. Now, one of the biggest cons when I finished was like, okay, how long is this going to last? Because none of the videos were kind of straightforward in regards to how much juice you should drink. A lot of people are like, I've been drinking this all day for 30 days. But it's like, how much? How many ounces should I drink? Because I know I'm not supposed to drink a whole jar and that's just my diet for the whole day. But when I started, you'd be surprised to know that that's how I actually thought it was. So the first day or two, I drank 1 jar for the entire day, and I was just starving, low energy, lethargic. And I finally kept digging and doing different research from different videos. And I came across a video that finally was straightforward and was like, actually it was Google. And it was like 16 ounces every 3 hours. I believe that's what it was. And so I was like, okay, this jar, I have about 16 ounces in it. So when you put 2 and 2 together and you just do the math just off of looking what I have here alone, it's like, how long is this really gonna last me? So I couldn't do a full cleanse. So what I had to do was I used the juice to replace my breakfast. So in the morning, I still had my coffee. Then for my first break, I had the juice. Now, if I was already full from drinking it, I would drink 8 ounces and save the other 8 ounces for lunch. And then I'd eat dinner. When I got home. So there's different ways that you can do it if you don't have enough like I did. But I honestly already went into it feeling like a failure because I didn't have enough to successfully, reach my goal. And I felt a way about that because I'm like, I'm trying to do the right thing. Money's a little tight. I know that there's different places that you could shop. Like people say go to the farmer's market and, Aldi's and different grocery stores and Kroger's where the fruits and vegetables is a lot cheaper. But to me, from my experience, like money is money. And I didn't have enough to really complete a successful 30-day cleanse for the both of us. So that's something I'm going to invest into next month. Like I said, money is just tight, so I had to split it up. Some of the things that were good about juicing was that I was less hungry. I noticed that I more so miss chewing than anything. And I know that, going into it, you're going to really want to eat. But honestly, it kept me full. Like a lot of times I ate because I was being greedy, but there was a lot of times I really didn't need to eat. Like when I drank the juice, all the nutrients was doing what it was supposed to do. I could tell because I felt good. I felt full. I didn't really want more food except for like my mind wanted the food, but I didn't need the food, if that makes sense. It was a lot easier to use the bathroom during the time. I felt like the movements that I needed to make, TMI, was flowing better. I felt good about myself, most importantly, because I'm telling you the physical benefits, but most importantly, I felt good about myself knowing that I was getting in all the nutrients and stuff that I need. Because when you're on a go and you're in between different brands and businesses and trying to, get yourself together like I am, you don't always make the time that you need to take care of yourself and to replenish yourself. And my struggle was not having balanced meals. So with me being able to do this, I felt like I was really doing something for my health and for my body. And so that was one of the biggest cons, is that I just felt really good about myself. Like, okay, you're really making a conscious effort to take care of yourself. It's a really good feeling. So the failure, like I said, hinted to in the beginning, it really started to take place once I started to have the juice shortage. Now, when I started to have the juice shortage, I went from being able to replace 2 meals a day to 1 to none, just saving my juice for when I came from work. And I kind of knew then, that it would be a hard 30-day challenge. Not that any challenge is supposed to be easy. You want to challenge yourself. That's the point of it. But I knew then. I knew that when I juiced on Sunday, I had to make more, like Tuesday night, Wednesday night, to get ready for the rest of the week. So that was okay. I had a nice flow going, but about 2 weeks in-ish, I'd say I ran out of fruits and vegetables to do what I needed to do. And my budget to put towards being able to do that just had changed. I also had to make other things that would sustain everyone in the household as a family. So I had to prioritize, and I kind of just really fell off from there. Haven't even done it since, to be honest. So that was a big disappointment for me. The cons of doing the juicing cleanse is that it could be expensive. If you guys have tips and stuff like that you want to share for people like me and us and anyone who's following me, so we could win and do it the right way, let me know. But it could be expensive. It could add up. Like I spent like $200 to $300 on fruits and vegetables. Only last about 3 weeks. I don't know if I was juicing wrong. Like I said, this is my first experience in years. I haven't juiced or really been big on like my smoothies and stuff in a long time. So I'm getting back into it. And even when I was a lot better at smoothies and shakes than I ever was at juicing. Like I just finally started mastering of the mixtures that I like to make sure the stuff tastes the way that I want. So if you got any tips and comments, please share, because I want to do it again and I want to do it the right way. So let me know. Juicing is not a social thing, right? If you juicing and you in it for the long haul or just temporarily on a challenge or a fast, you are alone, okay? You is not going to the club and pre-gaming on no juice. You're not thinking about getting drunk and drinking a bunch of wine or alcohol because you're juicing. It kind of cancels out what you're doing. So during that time, I didn't really want to drink or go out much because I just felt so excluded. And not that anybody was purposely excluding me, but it's like, do I want that, cheeseburger while I feel so good drinking this juice or doing good? So it caused me to be a lot less social. Like even if I went out, I was more so worried about like, okay, well, I have time in between hanging out with people to stop and drink one of my mason jars of juice. You know, is it gonna come across as weird? Like, I don't care, but I care at the same time, because what I'm doing is so much different than what some of the people around me are doing. So it was just trying to find that balance between trying to have a social life and, you know, prioritizing something that was good for me. And so it did cause me to be a lot less antisocial during that fast. I don't know if anybody else has ever experienced that, but that's how it was for me. I miss chewing. Like, I noticed that I miss chewing. A lot of the times I would drink the juice at break or lunch, and I'll just look around and I'd be done, you know, with my food. And so you have a 15-minute break, and I'd be done with my food in maybe 2 minutes, 1 minute, because you could drink it. And I'd look around and I realized how weird it is not to be able to just chew, you know, while you're sitting on break. So I'm finishing it and I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, well, I guess I have all this extra free time to like do some research on my phone or watch some videos, kind of decompress from work. But I was like, it's definitely missing something when you can't eat, because you're used to trying to stuff your face and be on your break at the same time, maybe call somebody at the same time. And when you don't have that, it was just kind of weird. I would finish my food before everyone else, and I'd just be like, okay, well, this is new. A good new, but a weird new nonetheless. So that's one of the cons. You will miss chewing. A lot of people recommend getting gum or getting veggies that you might like to munch on to fulfill you or sustain that habit that we have as humans to want to chew on something. In conclusion, failing never feels good. I'm used to being a lot more successful on my 30-day challenges. This is probably some of the worst results that I've ever had on a 30-day challenge. And it didn't feel good. You know, it actually caused me to fall into a mood where I became the failure. I embodied the failure instead of separating myself from, you know, the idea that this was a fail, not that I am a failure. And I just was like full on snack mode. You know, I just was like, well, I'm just going to go back to eating how I was eating, because I'm not going to be able to afford to do something that is beneficial to my health. Like, they make it so hard for you to eat healthy. You go to the store and you could get 3 for $5 packs of processed breakfast sandwiches, but you can't afford a bag of grapes. Like, why is a bag of grapes more than the processed sandwiches? And I mean, I think we all know why that is, but it's hard. So I felt like a failure for a while. It took me until, you know, it was time to do this video about my cleanse or my 30-day challenge to just be honest with myself. Like, well, why do I feel like that, and what can I do? Like, I always say every failure is a win, more so because I actually attempted it and tried it. And going forward, because I did fail, I know now what I need to do differently or what I can do better to improve. One, I need to look at some better deals or some good deals for the fruits and vegetables, because baby, $200 or something for the fruits and vegetables was not given. And this is me shopping in my best, you know, budgeting methods, and I still know that I can do better, but that's what I can do at the time. So like I said, please help me out. Don't just watch this and don't tell me nothing. Please tell me something. And the fails also helped me to better document my 30-day challenges going forward, because I feel like I was always more successful as long as I documented it to myself. Like, do check-ins, like a 10-day check-in every 10 days, just checking to see where you are on the journey. Because one thing you don't have to do is, if the first 10 days or 5 days don't start out perfectly, you don't have to quit. Because remember, most of your 30-day challenges are going against your normal habits. So you have to try to keep going. You can't just be like, oh, okay, I'm not doing good the first 3 to 4 days. Get back on the wagon on the 5th day or the 6th day and try to see where it takes you or where it can go. And that's where I failed. Like, once the first week or 2 was over, I was like, okay, I'm done. You know, I'm done up. I quit. But I shouldn't have done that. Usually I'll be like, okay, I failed 10 days. Let's try to finish the last 20 strong. I normally have a better mentality towards failure, but this time I just was all out. I didn't try any backup methods. I didn't resort to my plan B or C. I just kind of gave up. So that was the biggest disappointment and lesson there. I really wish I could have done that differently. But I do want you guys to leave with the idea that trying again is very necessary. It's very crucial to you for your growth, because I was ready to move on to another 30-day challenge, but I'm not gonna move on until I get this one right, because I have to develop the habit, right? This 30-day challenge was to make me feel better and to be a better me. It was never just about having something to vlog about or share with you guys. It was for me and to hopefully benefit other people in this journey. Now, what I can say from doing this challenge is that I do believe that juicing or meal replacements and smoothies, as long as you're not putting too much stuff in it, is a very good way to give your body an influx of the nutrients and stuff that you lack, that you're missing, or that you just don't eat. So I never really cook beet by itself. I never really eat celery. I do like them both, but I don't really eat them by themselves. So this was the most celery and beets that I've had in a long time, and carrots and stuff like that. I do eat other fruits and vegetables, but those are the ones that I don't really get enough of. I was consuming a lot more ginger and turmeric and lemon and things like that. So it really felt good to do that. And I do advise that, you know, you guys try it. Just because I failed doesn't mean that that's going to be your story. And so if you're doing something that's good to you and you know the real reason behind why you're doing it, I think you'll be likely to continue it. And that's why, even though I failed, I want to do it again, because I did feel good doing it. And lastly, just remember that you are not going to get everything right. So you have to be patient with yourself. That was one of my things, just beating myself up during the process. Like, you went into this too hard and you failed. But I was like, I didn't fail because I prepped a lot of juice. I vlogged about it. There was a lot of good things that came out of this process. So just try it again. I hope you guys enjoyed that. My next 30-day challenge, not too sure what it is. Like I said, I'd like to try the juice cleanse again. I believe that I can do it the right way now. But I do have other 30-day challenges I want to try. And hopefully this is the last one where you'll see a big fat failed. And remember, I only failed because I didn't finish it out at all. Normally with my 30-day challenges, I'm not consistent in the 30 days, but I will finish it. I will do 23 days or 24 or 20 even. But this one I only did, I'd say, 5 out of the 30 days. So gotta do it again. I'll talk to you guys next time. Thank you so much for checking me out again. If you found any of this information valuable, or if you have any questions about like beginning juice cleanses or anything that I use, just let me know. Feel free to talk to me about what your last 30-day challenges was, how you felt about it, if you were consistent, if you finished it. Like, y'all gotta talk to me. So I'll see you guys later, and I'm out.